Good evening. It is I, Miguel Angel Herrera, and I'm making a video to document the events that occurred today on June 16th, 2023, after we had our final trial in the suit affecting the parent-child relationship in the interest of Nicholas Mayu Sonko Bailey Herrera, my son. Look at that beautiful boy who's enjoying a wonderful time with his father. This is the bed that I made for my son with my hands. I found little plans online from some guy that was like a carpenter or something, and he had these plans, and I got him and I made his bed, a tractor bed. And I was going to get him wheels. I was about to get him his wheels, and then my son was violently ripped from my arms. It's me, Miguel, and I'm going to document this experience from what happened. We had final trial on February 27th, 28th, and March 1st and March 2nd, and final trial was over, and the jury voted to remove my son away from me based on seriously damaging false allegations. Allegations that are so disgusting and vile that I constituted as child abuse upon my son for making him believe in a story that's not true by making me out to be a monster when that's not true. One of the insane allegations they said is on the witness stand that they said that I trained my son, Mayu, how to kill people, how to shoot people in the head with a gun during the supervised visits, while the supervised visitor was watching me. And the main one that said it is a police officer. This police officer, who has the duty to protect the child, is watching us play with these guns right here. These are the guns that my son loves to play. She got on the witness stand and said that my guns are so real looking and sound real that if you turn the volume up, you would think it's a real gun. Listen to this. This is a Star Wars blaster. Does that sound like a real gun to you? Let me see if this one will turn on. It's running out of battery. Oh, it's out of battery, but it's like a little laser gun. It's totally out. I need to change the battery. Well, this one sounds a little more real, but it's basically like a video game gun. This is a freaking X-Shot, one of those Nerf guns that you shoot at targets. All of these guns shoot rounds, Nerf rounds. And this is the target that I showed my son, that I shot with him at the visits. And what's crazy is this police officer who doesn't like me, who's religious, a religious fanatic. I'm going to go in the main room here, but I want to show you some photos of my son and I in the hallway. There's a photo of me and my son at a ceremony for my dear sister, friend Ambrosia, who passed away, that I took him with me in Austin. This is my son in my old backyard, having a good time with his friends and me. This is my beautiful boy in my arms, who clearly is safe and nothing wrong, bad happening with him. And this is the spot where I got his name in Peru. I got a photo of the exact location where my son's name was channeled to me. And here's me and Chris, my friend Chris, and my son together having a good old time. Yeah, they said I trained my son to kill people. That's what they said. So, I'm testifying and I'm documenting what just happened today in court. We had a hearing today. We had a hearing. And I had a response. What happened today is the jury made a vote to take my son away based on these false allegations. One of them is which they said the same police officer was sitting right there, testified that I was laying right here, which is what happened. I was laying with my son right there. right in front of her at her feet, watching a a movie, a video right over here. She said I was touching his genitals right in front of her. She just made it up. And interestingly, it was right after we had an argument in our kitchen about religion. This Christian woman, radical fundamentalist Christian woman, who's not a real practicing Christian, decided that she didn't like my Buddha statues. See, I got Buddha statues here. I got this Buddha statue. And that day she came in, I was literally meditating right here at the altar when she came over. And my son came and sat in my lap, and she didn't like that. She thinks that it's demonic to meditate and to pray in front of a Buddha statue. So we had an argument right there in my kitchen about Jesus, about why I don't have any crosses in my house. And I told her why. I don't carry a cross in my house because I don't believe in glorifying the murder weapon that killed Jesus. And that pissed her off. And I said, well, and then, I said, well, I go to church. I love Jesus. I go to church. I used to take my son to church, and I miss taking my son to church. I love Jesus. Why would you think I don't go to church? She looked at me dead in my eyes when I said I go to church. She goes, you go to church? I said, yeah, why not? Why not? What, you think because I have Buddha statues in my house that I don't believe in Jesus? I'm like, what does it matter? You're watching me in a supervised visit. What? This isn't appropriate. So I called her out on that. Why are we talking about religion while you're supposed to be watching me in a supervised visit, a court-ordered visit? We're talking about religion here. So I basically told her, well, I don't carry crosses in my house because I prefer not to glorify the murder weapon that killed Jesus. I prefer Buddha statues because it brings me into peace and helps me focus, mindfulness. It helps me meditate, and it makes me feel good. She didn't like that. So moments later, I'm laying down right here with my son, cuddling, just holding him, holding my boy in my arms, watching a show on my computer right there. She's sitting literally right there. I got a Buddha pillow too. She doesn't like that either. I'm sitting right here. She's sitting right there, and she's watching me and my son from right here, this angle. And she says I'm touching my son's genitals right there. That's what she said. She said I'm inappropriately touching my son's genitals, and I did it 4 times. And then she reported this lying, evil, God-forsaken, worthless slime of a human being even reported on her notes that she didn't want to disrupt the child because she didn't want to do anything about it because she didn't want to tell me to stop. She didn't tell me to stop. She didn't stop the visit. She didn't call the police. She didn't do anything. She let us sit there in the same cuddle position watching the movie because she didn't want to disturb the child. That's what her testimony was. As she felt that she didn't want to mess with the forensic investigation if she stopped the visit and yanked him out of my arms. That was her excuse for letting us sit there for 20 minutes to watch the show that we were watching. It was a 20-minute show. And then she let me go outside with my son when he asked to play remote control truck with his daddy. And she said yes. And we went outside. We went outside in this front yard and we played for 20 more minutes out here with the remote control truck. And then we came back inside for 5 more minutes. At the end, towards the end of the visit, I had 10 minutes left, and I told my son, we got 10 minutes left. You want to help me blow the leaves in the backyard? I go in the backyard, and I blow leaves with him right here. I start blowing him. He's standing right there, and I'm blowing leaves. I'm blowing him with the blower, and he's like, ooh, that's funny, Daddy, laughing. And she even reported on her notes that my son was laughing and having a good time with his dad. 45 minutes after she said I touched him inappropriately, after she says I'm endangering my son. This crazy psychopath of a radical fundamentalist Christian grabs my son by the arm, picks him up, and says, we got to go, we got to go. And I'm over here blowing with the blower, and I'm like, what's going on? And she fucking runs inside 45 minutes after the alleged touching. 45 minutes after. Runs through here, runs through the house, and runs out the front door. And Billy, the boyfriend of Jennifer, her new baby's daddy, who's claiming to be married to her when they're not legally married, because Jennifer and I are still married legally, through common law, actually. And they ran and threw him in a fucking truck without a child safety seat, and they fucking took off. They kidnapped my son. And this woman, who hates me, testified under oath at the final trial that I touched my son and that I trained him to kill people. In this house, under her care, she says I did all these things, and she didn't stop the visit. She didn't stop the visit. She didn't call the police. She didn't report it on her notes that I trained my son to kill people. She didn't write that in her notes. That she literally said on the witness stand that I'm training him how to shoot people in the head with those guns in there. Toy guns, Nerf. And they said all these other things. And they crucified me in court, in trial. And the jury voted that I'm a danger to my son and that I shouldn't have any access. So today's hearing was a motion to enter the orders. And the motion to enter the orders. This is the order in the suit, of order in suit affecting the parent-child relationship. And these fucking people stated, the court finds that respondent has committed family violence pursuant to Texas Family Code against another party in this case. The court finds that the provisions in these orders relating to the rights and duties of the parties with relation to the child possession acts of the child and child support are in the best interest of the child. And they didn't prove family violence. Today, I valiantly put together a case. In the last several months, I've been doing this for a year. I'm in my suit right now, representing myself, to come up with this response and objections to petitioner's motion to enter order in the suit affecting the parent-child relationship and motion for judgment notwithstanding the verdict. Background. And I list the background here. Okay? And I list the code that they're claiming that I did. Here's my response and objections. I filed all this myself. I wrote all of this myself. I drafted it myself. And I'm saying that their claim is inaccurate because family violence pursuant to Texas Family Code Section 7104 was never mentioned in trial. They never said that. The jury never said that. CPS investigated me. Child Protective Services investigated me because of these allegations. CPS ruled out abuse by me. The police investigated me. A detective investigated me. And my son was interviewed by CPS, forensic interview. No abuse. No outcry of abuse. Kid is living good. Having a good time, a good little boy, and happy little boy living with his mother. And they're claiming that I'm abusing my son. And family violence. I cite dating violence. I cite the definitions of family violence. I cite the code. Here's the code. Dating violence. Definitions. Abuse. Neglect. Sexual conduct. Harmful to a child. It tells you right here what abuse is. And I hadn't done any of it. They didn't prove any of it. So basically, I give them all the evidence. I have it all right here. All the evidence that why I'm not guilty of family violence. And I went up there to respond to them valiantly. And here's my desk. This was my attorney's desk today. This is what it looked like. I had all this stuff that I've been working on for months. All my notes from the trial. All my notes of what they said about me on the witness stand. What every witness said, all their lies. Lies after lies after lies. Saying that a hostage situation, terrorist attack, all these things that never happened. Police, SWAT team. Oh my God. All their witnesses came up and just fucking lied. And I got it all down and I wrote it all down. And the jury couldn't unhear what they said. The jury thought I was a maniac because of simply what they said in their mouths. But the documents presented showed that there was no abuse. There was no arrest charges, no police reports, nothing. I've never been criminally charged. Never in my life, or ever hitting anybody, assaulting anybody, robbery, armed robbery, aggravated assault, domestic violence, anything. Never once. And they're claiming and telling my son, teaching him that I'm a violent monster to be feared and that I'm a danger. Well, I valiantly stood up there in the courtroom as an attorney with all my files. I have entire cases of binders of evidence, files and motions and pleadings that I've been working on for a year. Never trained as a lawyer in my life. Never done anything like this. Totally out of my field of expertise. And I am forced to do it because of the severe allegations against me and the allegations that are separating an innocent child from his father from false allegations. So I'm having to really reach down and grab a pair and find the power and the strength inside of me to do something that's terrifying. To go up against a powerful law firm in a court of law against a corrupt legal system who seeks to destroy the sacred masculine and to emasculate men and to remove fathers from the family, from the nuclear family. This liberal mindset to cancel anybody that doesn't agree with you is what this woman, Jennifer Bailey, has done to me. And she's now successfully has removed me from my son's life completely based on nothing but people that hate me testifying against me, people that don't like me. I didn't stand a chance because I went in there when the court already favored the woman. The Texas family courts already favor the women. The women already win child support, win everything. And that's just a fact in family law. The rules and the laws in the 1980s when Reagan was president, when the women were uprising, we want to be treated as equals, equal rights for women, equal pay for women. We want money, we want more money. So they went after the men, their husbands, and they started awarding women more child support, more alimony, more fucking all the money, and they've been clearing men's bank accounts since that Ronald Reagan put the new order into effect. And it hasn't changed. So I'm documenting for my own personal record and for my son's record. My son, Nicholas Mayu Sonko Bailey Herrera, my son has not seen me in 10 months based on false allegations. The last thing my son said to me when sitting right here in this kitchen, I love my daddy's tacos. They're so good. My daddy's tacos are the best. I can't wait every time I come and get tacos from my daddy. The other last thing he said, Daddy, I want to play outside with you, Daddy, with the remote control. Can we do that? Absolutely, son. And the other last thing he said, Daddy, I want to blow the leaves with you. I want to try. Let me try. And then he's like, blow the air on me, blow the air on me. Woo! The last thing my son said to me is like, blow me with the air, Daddy, this is fun. And then Melissa Kirkland, the fraud, grabs him and runs out of my house and traumatizes my son based on an incident that she claimed happened where she did nothing about for 45 minutes. I'm furious today. I cried my eyes out in that courtroom in my fancy suit after the judge rendered the verdict and said, we are signing these orders for petitioner Jennifer Bailey to have sole managing conservatorship of the child, and I have no access, permanent injunctions against me. I cannot go around my son ever to his school. I cannot do anything. I can't call police to do a welfare check on him, nothing. I don't get to know anything about my son because of this. So I'm going to read what I did today. I'm just going to document this. I'm just going to document how I showed up for my son. Son, and I'm speaking to you, son. There is not a man on this planet who's willing to don a suit and stay up till 4, 5, 6 every night and drafting, writing outlines and taking notes and drafting pleadings, legal and citing law, filing things, filing motions, filing evidence, being a lawyer, doing what a lawyer does. When I'm not even an attorney, I've never been trained as an attorney. I've never once went to law school, ever. There's not a man on this planet who's willing to fight for you, my son, like me. Because that is the role of a father. A father fights for their family and their child and protects their child. And that's all I've ever done. I love you, my son. And this is what I drafted up for you today, to fight for your honor, my son. And one day, I know, because if you're anything like me, you're a revolutionary, son. You're a rainbow warrior. Now, I don't like that term warrior because it has the word war in front of it. So I say rainbow warrior. A rainbow warrior is a child of light, who stands up against injustice, who stands up for what's right, who fights the good fight, who is a peaceful warrior. And they're claiming that I'm guilty of family violence, that I'm going to kill you, my son, that I'm going to kill Jennifer because I'm a dangerous man, because I was a Marine 25 years ago and I have weapons training. And they used that against me to try to say, oh, he's teaching his son to kill people with Nerf guns. Are you kidding me? My son, you were only 4 years old the last time I saw you, 10 months ago. And I'm pretty confident you remember playing with our Nerf guns, and I have every video to show you whenever you find me. But I am confident that you will find me one day if you're anything like me. And you're going to want to know who your father is, and you're going to want a relationship with me. So I'm doing this video today to show you one day what happened today and what your mother, Jennifer Bailey, did. This is my outline that I prepared for today's hearing. Let me turn on another light. There we go. This is my outline. Motion to sign it into orders and motion for JNOV hearing outline. I wrote this up, and for a brief word on what JNOV stands for, it's a judgment notwithstanding the verdict, which is Rule 300 or 305. I forget the exact rule number, but it's Rule 300 of the Texas Rules of Civil Procedure. The Texas Rules of Civil Procedure is the rule book and how to play the game of the whole court system. And you have to follow the rules of civil procedure and do it correctly to present your case, to present your evidence. There's rules of evidence. There's rules of law. There's rules of everything. Rules of how to file a motion. There's rules of how to subpoena somebody. There's timing of filings. There's discovery rules. There's rules on every single thing you can think of in law. And that's why when you go to a law library, you see stacks and stacks and stacks of bookshelves of law books. There's so much to do with law. It's insane and an incredibly daunting task to learn. And I want you to know that I studied it for a year on my own by Googling things, by going on the internet, by watching videos, by actually going to court and listening to a court hearing in session several times, just hearing what the attorneys say to each other, hearing what the judge does, seeing evidence and hearing and watching how it goes. I practiced. I hired an attorney on the outside to teach me, to show me the right way to do things. You know, I took classes online. I paid money to take a mastery course, a custody case mastery course, so I can learn how to defend myself as a pro se litigant. And that's what I am. I'm representing myself pro se. And what that means is you don't have an attorney. You are the acting attorney. I'm not a real attorney. I don't have a bar card. But I learned everything I could to put this together, to present this to you. Today, son, I fought your father. Me, fought valiantly for you. I went in there in the lion's den in the 366th District Court against a harsh judge who is a criminal judge also, who seems to enjoy putting people into jail, and I've witnessed him do it, taking people into custody every time, nearly every time I've been in his courtroom. Who reminds me of my father, who is very stern and very loud and yells and doesn't like the way I do things because I don't know how to be an attorney, so I'm making mistakes. But I'm willing to make mistakes. I'm willing to trip all over myself and fall on myself and embarrass myself in court just to be with you, my son. And that's why I'm doing this. And there's not a man on this planet who would do that. What I did today in this last 4 years of a litigation. 4 years ago, your mother took you and left after assaulting me in our house in Plano, Texas. I have videos and pictures of everything you're going to see one day. I've been fighting this battle for 4 years, and today I just lost it all. And I cried my eyes out, son, when the judge made his ruling and granted Jennifer, your mother, Jennifer Bailey, full rights, full possession, sole managing conservatorship, and me, zero. I get no rights, no access, no possession, and furthermore, I'm enjoined from even calling you. I can't call you. I can't send you a birthday present. I can't send you an email. I can't send somebody to send you a telegram. I can't mail you anything. I can't go within 100 feet of you or her, because her and her new boyfriend, Billy Thomas, who you're growing up with right now, who's pretending to be your father, who's acting like he's your father, and they're telling you that I'm a danger to you right now at 5 years old, my son. They're manipulating your mind and telling you that I did all these things. And now they have a court order to sort of prove it. The court order says that the jury voted against me, that I lost. It says it in writing that I lost. I have no rights and that I'm ordered to pay child support and all these things. And Jennifer gets everything and I get nothing. And that I'm not allowed to assault you or Jennifer or hurt you. I'm not allowed to do any of these things that I never did in the first place. And it's going to say right there. And it's going to make me look crazy. And your mother's probably going to show that to you one day. I don't doubt it. But I have the videos. I have the audios and I have the photos of you and I and of you growing up, my son, and us having a wonderful time together. And us having the time of our lives at water parks, at state parks, at the Renaissance Fair. All these places I took you to. Traveling out of town to see my family in San Antonio. Teaching you how to swim. Teaching you how to talk. Cooking delicious food with you. Swatting flies together. Being goofy together and just having a good time. And you're starting to see my personality right now. You're seeing my passion. You're seeing who I am as a man, as a human being. And I am passionate. I am emotional. And these are the types of things that your mother hated about me or loved about me, who fell in love with me because of these things. And the fire that's inside of me, the pure strength and fire that I have and the passion I have inside to go for what I want. She was attracted to that about me, and she chose me as the father of her son to bear her first child because of my gifts and my talents and my ability to articulate myself and to go for what I want because of my drive and my passion and my strength. She was so turned on by that about me. And then one day she started to create a story that I'm abusing her and that I'm abusing you and that she doesn't want to be with me anymore. She wants money out of me because I was making money 4 years ago. And last year I lost my job, so I got a new job. And I'm not making a lot of money. And the court ordered the bare minimum child support for you now because of how much money I'm making now, because I'm financially hurting. But that's beside the point. Your mother chose me for who I am, and then all of a sudden she goes, nope, I don't like that about you. You're mean, you're angry, and you're violent, and you're a danger because of my passion and the way I speak. But I speak like this because I love you. I speak like this for everything that I feel strongly about, that I believe in. I believe in the pursuit of happiness, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, the American dream. I believe in the Constitution of the United States. I believe in freedom. I believe in things that are worth fighting for. Our freedom. I believe in protecting the innocent, protecting children, protecting women. I believe in all these things. Living free. Thriving in life. And I'm passionate about these things, and I speak about these things publicly because I think it's important. But anyways, getting back to what happened today and why I'm here. I'm here for you, son, because you deserve a father in your life. A little tiny story about me and my father. I didn't have a good relationship with him growing up. My father wasn't around. When my mother divorced my father said, okay, where do you want me to sign? I mean, I'll take him on Saturdays. That's all. All right, cool. I'm not going to fight you. My dad didn't care. He didn't want to be in my life. In fact, he wanted me aborted. He wanted to abort me. He wanted abortions for all of his children. Me, Stephen, Joseph, and Lynette. Didn't even want them. So my dad didn't want me. And I grew up traumatized by that, my son, that I didn't have a father in my life that cared for me, that loved me, that was willing to fight for me. My dad never did that. So I grew up scared and lonely, and I'm traumatized from that. I have experienced trauma, and I've experienced pain and a desire to connect with a masculine role model, my dad. And I didn't get that growing up. I'm 46 years old now today, and I'm still trying to repair the relationship with my father that never was there. And I don't want that for you, son. I want you to have a good relationship with me. The man who brought you into this world, the man who loves you, and the man who will do anything for you because you deserve it. And you are a bright young little boy. You are so intelligent. You are intelligent beyond the typical school smarts intelligent. You have heart intelligence. You are emotional intelligence. You're a divine human being. You're a beautiful child. You're a good boy. You're such a sweetheart, just like me when my mother was raising me as a little boy and said the same things about me. You're such a sweetheart. You're the sweetest boy. It's because of the passion and the things that I care about, the things that I believe in and I care about so deeply that I'm willing to fight for them. So here's what I did for you today. Pre-hearing checklist. Show up 2 hours early and make sure you get inside the courtroom and set up my computer, speaker for audio, then lay out my exhibits and pleadings, just like I did here. Deliver all my binders and flash drive of exhibits to the judge and opposing counsel. I did that. Before we begin, invoke the rule and remove all witnesses from the court if necessary. Confirm with the judge how much time we have and if we have an additional summation. Closing arguments at the end. Ask the judge to take judicial notice of the contents of the court's file. Your Honor, requesting that the court take judicial notice of the contents of the court's file. That means whatever's been filed in the court, he's going to take notice of it. So if I reference something, he's going to remember it or pull it up or whatever in his mind. The burden of proof is on Jennifer Bailey to tip the scales and prove her claims. Family court. Petitioner's case needs to be proven by a preponderance of evidence that she is entitled to the relief she wants. She must tip the scale beyond 51% to win. Now, this is different than civil law. Civil law, there must be beyond a reasonable doubt that I committed the crime. So you have to far tip the scales, not just barely to 51%. You got to tip the scales beyond a reasonable doubt. There is no doubt that this man committed this crime. That's criminal law. And civil law is based on a preponderance of evidence, and all she needs to do is win by 1%. That's it. And that's why she won. Present my case with powerful facts and evidence. Impeach Jennifer Bailey, Garcia Harper, and the Plano Police Department on the witness stand. Prove Jennifer's several statements and fraud upon the court. Demonstrate Missy Kirkland's incompetence and malicious lies. Demonstrate Wendy Weinman's false reports and lies. Expose Jennifer's deception. Ultimately, object to their proposed order, substance, and form for the glaring issues and errors which don't match the jury charge. After presenting objections to proposed order, move to my motion for judgment notwithstanding the verdict, which is my requested relief. The motion for J&OV, the judgment notwithstanding the verdict, is the court's power to overturn the jury's decision based on the fact that the jury incorrectly applied the law and that no reasonable jury could have came up with that verdict with the evidence that was presented at trial. And I pushed for this today, son, because it was my last-ditch effort for you, my Hail Mary bomb, to try to get something going here because they took it all from me. So Attorney Greg Witten went first to present his motion to sign orders, and he believes his proposed order accurately reflects the jury's decision, and he gave his reasons why. He argued the jury charge and made reference to family violence or abuse. And then I come in, and this is my response. I'm writing down my script and what I'm going to do. Your Honor, respondent has a response with several objections to petitioner's proposed order. Firstly, for some background on these inaccurate claims and errors inside the order, on the eve of the pretrial conference on January 24, 2023, petitioner filed a frivolous and groundless supplemental petition in this suit affecting the parent-child relationship in an attempt to terminate my parental rights at the last minute. This petition was not filed in a timely manner, nor did it come with a proper leave of court. The unsupported false claims in this pleading make defamatory criminal claims against me, which were never proven, which were not based in truth, and were never proven with facts and evidence in any court of law, civil or criminal. Petitioners claim that respondent is guilty of family violence pursuant to Texas Family Code Section 71.004 is inaccurate because I was never found guilty of family violence in any criminal or civil court. And that term cannot be used in this civil suit affecting the parent-child relationship. Furthermore, petitioner never once used the term family violence, dating violence, abuse, or neglect as defined as the Texas Family Code in any other of her testimony. None of their witnesses claimed the term family violence, dating violence, abuse, or neglect as defined by the Texas Family Code. They certainly did not offer any evidence to show that I have committed family violence, and they haven't proven it. Petitioner is engaging in fraud upon the court by knowingly committed perjury during the trial and attempting to charge respondent with several alleged crimes that were never committed or proven during trial. Your Honor, petitioner's proposed order does not match the jury's verdict nor the jury charge and should be denied, at least altered significantly. I have several objections to this order, starting with the parenting plan. And finally, Your Honor, it is my firm observation that the jury incorrectly applied the law in reaching their verdict. According to Rule 301, that's it, 301 of the Texas Rule of Civil Procedure, judgments. Respondent respectfully, by the way, I'm the respondent because I'm responding to them. Respondent, me, respectfully requests to grant my motion for judgment notwithstanding the verdict, as no reasonable jury could have reached the current verdict based on the evidence presented at trial. In fact, the evidence presented at trial shows that petitioner Jennifer Bailey has committed family violence pursuant to Section 71.004 of the Texas Family Code. And I did present evidence of it, son. I presented evidence of mother slapping you, your mother slapping you so hard that it caused a huge abrasion and claw mark on your face, and you cried to me about it. You made an outcry of abuse to me personally in front of the supervised visitor. Then the notes were written and taken, and those notes are in the evidence for the jury to see. I also put evidence that she nearly poisoned you to death. She nearly killed you by accidental poisoning when you were 20 months old, and you got into her medicine box, and you ate 30 melatonin gummies and could have died. Adult melatonin gummies. You thought they were candy and you ate them because she decided to leave you alone in the house and take a shower. I presented evidence that a dog bit your face and she didn't take you to the hospital. And she protected your Uncle David's dog instead of putting the dog in quarantine at the dog pound and calling animal control to check him for rabies. And then taking you to the hospital to check you for rabies and give you a tetanus shot. She failed to do that. I presented that. I presented several other things that showed Miss Bailey, your mother, is guilty of family violence. She even admitted on the witness stand that she assaulted me. And I got that in evidence. So that's why I'm saying the evidence presented at trial shows that petitioner Jennifer Bailey has committed family violence pursuant to Section 71.004 of the Texas Family Code. My objections to the proposed orders are as follows. The claim guilty of family violence pursuant to Texas Family Code is inaccurate. Your Honor, respondent has not been charged with any crimes or family violence listed in this statute. Number 2, there was no credible witness testimony or evidence presented to conclude family violence. There's no supporting evidence offered that proved any child abuse, dating violence, or neglect as mentioned in petitioner's claim. Nothing against you and nothing against her. That's what this is about, you and her. So even if I hit somebody else, it doesn't matter. It didn't happen to you and it didn't happen to her, and it's irrelevant. The jury charge made, number 3, the jury charge made no mention of the words family violence, and the jury never charged respondent with family violence. Petitioner Jennifer Bailey already testified in this court on the record that Miguel has never abused her or the child. I've got it on her own testimony. Several times, I've never hit you, never hurt her. She's testified to it at the restraining order hearing. Petitioner also failed to name any specific incidents which constitute family violence, abuse, or neglect when impeached about allegations of abuse on that day. Petitioner number 5 makes her claims mooted by the fact that she chose to fornicate with respondent me in 2017, then move into with me that same year, and then have a baby, you, my son, 9 months later, and then on top of that sign a lease for the new house that we got together the following year. She makes her claims mooted that I've been abusing you and her this entire time because she did all those things. By her actions, petitioner has ratified the alleged family violence, which has been denied by respondent. Petitioner further moots her claims, this is number 6, and ratifies my actions, alleged actions, by the fact that she moved back in with me in April of 2020. I've got the video of that too. Petitioner agreed to a Rule 11 agreement on September 12th and then signed the temporary order on August 18, 2021. In 2019 and 2021, she came to an agreement with me to share. So if I'm abusing you and her, why are we sharing our son? Doesn't make sense. Joint managing conservatives to share with me less than 2 years ago. This is all during the time they are claiming family violence from me. They're claiming I'm committing family violence while she's sleeping with me. We're in love, get a house together, have a baby together. And that she moved in with me. We got in a fight, broke up. She moved back in with me. She's claiming all of this abuse, and she never reported to the police. She never filed a police charge, never called the police. There is not one phone call of abuse by me towards you or to her. She didn't call CPS, Child Protective Services, nothing. Zero evidence of it. And this is what she's claiming. I said the CPS, number 8, CPS agent Eric Duffin conducted a forensic investigation of the child subject of the suit and of me, respondent, and of the witness, Melissa Kirkland, who claims that I touched my son. CPS has ruled out abuse of the child by respondent Miguel Herrera. The abuse has been ruled out by Child Protective Services' son. Didn't happen. Richardson Police Detective Champion conducted a full 3-month investigation of respondent me for the allegations of inappropriately touching the child's genitals, is what they're saying, son. You kidding me? Do you have any memory of that? Clearly you don't, unless Jennifer, your mother, is putting it in your mind to think that. The detective closed the case with the finding of no evidence. I have all this evidence for you, son. I'm going to show you one day that it never happened. Number 9, or number 10, that was number 9. There is simply, Your Honor, there is simply no evidence that respondent me has committed family violence, abuse, neglect, as outlined in Section 71.004 of the Texas Family Code. And that's my kind of opening arguments and objections. So then I move to my motion for judgment notwithstanding the verdict. This is my motion. A motion is I want the court to do something. I'm filing a motion for you to do something. Please respond to my motion. Please answer and grant my motion is what I'm saying. Here it is. I'm going to read all these just because I'm going to have this for the record. This is what I tried to say in court today, and I was shut down. By the way, the judge shut me down and wouldn't let me say any of this stuff. He denied me. He denied my motion. So So I had to fly by the seat of my pants, and I had to just offer my exhibits and do the witness testimony and do what I could. And I fought valiantly, son. Here's my motion that I did not get to present today, and I'm going to present for the appeal process, because the appeal process is when the court order is submitted on the record, you now have the ability to appeal the court's decision because you disagree with it, because there were errors made in the judgment, and there are errors made by the jury, and there's errors made in the admission of evidence. And I have plenty good reasons why I should get an appeal and you should be in my life, son. And I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to keep going. And I'm not going to resort to violence and family violence and abuse and neglect. I'm not going to resort to any of those things that she's claiming. I'm going to go the legal routes and continue fighting for you in this way, because you deserve it. You deserve a man in your life to do this for you. Here's my motion that I'm going to present next time. According to Section 71.004 of the Texas Family Code, Your Honor, Petitioner Jennifer Bailey has committed family violence towards me, the respondent, and the child, which was proven during trial with witness testimony of Wendy Wyman and Jennifer Bailey. Petitioner Jennifer Bailey admitted under oath to assaulting me, the respondent, by grabbing my arm in a forceful manner in front of the child. This was not done in self-defense, but with the intent to cause injury and make me reasonably afraid for my safety. The Plano police record with my testimony of the assault was admitted into trial evidence. That's there. Wendy Wyman of North Texas Mediation and Visitation admitted under oath that the child made an outcry of abuse by his mother, Jennifer Bailey. And the photos of the abuse marks on the child, was admitted into trial evidence. Supervision notes of Wendy Wyman were admitted into trial evidence. Witness testimony of Wendy Wyman confirming this was admitted into trial evidence. The supervised visitor heard you say, "My mommy slapped me." And you put your head down and said, "I'm scared, Daddy." When I asked you what happened to your face, son, your mom hit you, and you told me about it. And I know you're not a liar because you're a good boy, you're an honest boy. And you told me the truth. You looked me right in my eyes and you said, "My mommy hit me." And then you came up to me and you showed me this is how she did it. She put up her claws and she went like that. You told me that. A little over a year ago. On May 1st, 2022, you told me that. So that was a year ago. Exactly a year ago is when it happened. It's June 16th now. It was May 1st, 2022. It's June 16, 2023. You told me last year that this happened, and this is why we're fighting. Because I want to protect you, son. Number 4, Petitioner Jennifer Bailey admitted under oath to neglecting the child of 20 months old by knowingly and intentionally leaving him alone in the house while she showered for 10 minutes. The child ingested 30 adult melatonin pills and had to be resuscitated by Denton County paramedics and poison control. The Denton County Sheriff records and call notes of the incidents were admitted into trial evidence. Number 5, Petitioner Jennifer Bailey admitted under oath that the child was bitten and scratched by her brother's dog, bitten on the face, and she never took him to the hospital to get a tetanus shot for rabies. By the way, that's required by Texas law. For every child who is bitten by a dog, the dog is to be quarantined by the animal control. According to Texas law, all dogs who bite a child should be quarantined for 10 days to assess the dog for rabies. Petitioner never called animal control to report the dog. Petitioner risked the child's life to protect her brother's dog, your Uncle David, dog that bit you. They decided to protect him and not take him into animal control to check him for rabies. Instead, risk to see if you got rabies and possibly die, because you can die from rabies. And I have a problem with that, because if you're injured, you need medical attention. And this is the kind of thing that your father, me, does for you, because I think like that and your mother doesn't. And that's why we disagree. We have different parenting styles. I think we should be responsible. She thinks she can just do whatever she wants. It's all about having fun and games. Oh, but when you get hurt, we'll just put some Neosporin on it. You know, whatever. Neosporin for a dog bite? Come on now. The photos of the child's dog bite injury was admitted into trial evidence. Witness testimony of Jennifer Bailey was admitted into trial evidence. Supervision notes of Wendy Wyman on December 26, 2022, documenting the dog bite, was all admitted into trial evidence. I've admitted these things into evidence brilliantly. I admitted them. Petitioner Jennifer Bailey and William Thomas both committed perjury on the witness stand by stating that they never sleep with the child, the subject of the suit. Jennifer and Billy, your stepdad, are saying they never slept with you before. That Billy doesn't sleep in bed with you, son. And you've told me several times that Billy sleeps in bed with you. And I know you have memories of it. At 3.5 years old, Billy started sleeping with you. A 50-year-old man started sleeping in bed with you. Because he's your mom's new boyfriend. And I don't think that's appropriate. So I said something about it. And they didn't like that I said something about it. I have the Arlington Police body camera footage that was ordered by Judge Piper McCraw to be delivered to counsel for petitioner, who then shared it with me, respondent. In the video, William Thomas is caught in the bedroom with you, the child, at night, as he just woke up and got out of bed with you. The child has made several outcries to me, respondent, that Billy or Poppy sleeps in bed with me. Garcia Harper and Kayla Harper witnessed the child say this numerous times. Supervision notes of Wendy Wyman on May 14th documenting the child saying, Billy sleeps with me, was admitted into trial evidence. I correctly admitted that. The jury had all this in front of them. Finally, respondent, me, I have successfully proven that petitioner Jennifer Bailey has committed family violence against the child according to Section 71.004 of the Texas Family Code. So whatever they're saying I did to you is actually what they did to you and to me. And I can prove it. Petitioner Jennifer Bailey admitted under oath to calling the police on me, respondent Miguel Herrera, on June 20th, 2020, Father's Day, and reported to police that Miguel was withholding the child. Petitioner used that threat of police force to kidnap the child, you, from me, on my day of possession on Father's Day, which is a violation, interference with child custody, Section 25.03 of the Texas Penal Code. This is crime now. Now we're in criminal law. Your mother, Jennifer Bailey, kidnapped you from me by using threat of force by calling the police on me and lying to them saying that I'm withholding you from her when Father's Day is my day. Witness testimony of Jennifer Bailey was admitted into trial evidence. Plano police records and call notes of the incident were admitted into trial evidence. Respondent, me, I have successfully proven that petitioner Jennifer Bailey has committed interference with child custody pursuant to Section 225.03 of the Texas Family Code, a state jail felony charge. She committed a felony, and I have it on video. I recorded the incident on video. And I wasn't allowed to present my videos in court, son. The judge was prejudiced against me. The court was prejudiced against me and didn't allow me to present a lot of my evidence. Petitioner, furthermore, with a malicious intent, knowingly made defamatory false allegations about a hostage situation, a terrorist threat, which resulted in the Plano SWAT team raiding her holistic festival at the Plano Event Center on November 20th, 2022. There was not one piece of evidence ever presented to support those claims, and respondent me properly objected, assuming facts not in evidence. Each time, petitioner continued to claim SWAT team raid, even in closing arguments to the jury. No evidence was ever presented or admitted during trial. No police reports or criminal charges have been made against me, respondent. Respondent has Exhibit 1 of the audio recording of Mark Gerald, the general manager of Plano Event Center, who told me that there was never a SWAT team deployed. Respondent has also subpoenaed Detective Steven Sanders to testify. No SWAT team presence at the Plano Police Center that day. I went up to the Plano Police Department myself and asked them when did the SWAT team get deployed on this day? And did they go to the festival? They said no, it never happened. Petitioner finally had her witness, Wendy Wyman and Melissa Kirkland, collaborate their testimonies to paint me, the respondent, as a terrorist by alleging that respondent taught his son how to shoot people in the head with guns. And while they were testifying that, son, we actually had the evidence of their notes, of the visitation notes on the screen in front of the jury. And in highlighted yellow, it says, son and dad playing with Nerf guns, shooting zombies and monsters and ghosts. It said what we were doing on the notes. And they told the jury that I trained you how to kill people. Is what they did. And the jury could not unhear that. They could not unhear the testimony that I touched you inappropriately, allegedly. They couldn't unhear all of these crazy things that they said I did. Hostage situation, terrorist threat, SWAT team. They just kept inserting all these high-powered, highly charged words into testimony. And I was objecting, and the judge even overruled a lot of them. The jury heard it all, and they didn't like me. They crucified me on that witness stand. They crucified me in the court and made me look like a monster. When you and I have a beautiful relationship, we have a great time together. We have so much fun. We laugh and we play. And I build you your own bed, as you saw in the beginning of this video. I built that for you, son, and you helped me build it. You sanded the wood with me. You painted it with me, and I got that on video too. I got our trips to Six Flags. I got our trips to the country, to road trips and the water parks and all the wonderful things we've done together. Christmas and Thanksgiving with my family in San Antonio, and you're having the time of your life, and you love your daddy so much. And they took you away from me because they're making up stories because Mom, your mom, wants to win everything and take me for my money and get everything she can out of me so that she can control and manipulate you and have full power because that's what she wants. The witnesses literally changed their notes in real time while the jury read the notes on the big screen. Melissa Kirkland's note said, shooting zombies and ghosts, and respondent objected, assuming facts not in evidence. Your Honor, she's literally testifying falsely to documents that she has in evidence. She wrote it herself, and she's changing her story in real time, Your Honor. I object, is what I said. Objection is sustained. You may ask your next question. So he sustained my objection, which he agreed with what I was saying. The jury still heard everything she said. She misrepresented the facts, and I have all the supervision notes from both supervisors, and not one of them ever reported anything like this in their notes, nor did they stop the visit, nor did they call the police. They committed perjury on the witness stand, and they made it all up right there. Witness testimony of Wendy Wyman and Melissa Kirkland was admitted into evidence. Supervision notes of Wendy Wyman on every day, 12/19/21, 12/26/21, January 29, 22, May 14, 2022, and June 18, 2022, documenting every Nerf gun game with me and you that we played together, was admitted into evidence. Supervised visitation notes of Melissa Kirkland admitted to evidence, who has said the same thing, playing with Nerf guns. And I showed them to you in the beginning. Finally, the very end of my notes. According to section, Your Honor, according to section 261.107 of the Texas Family Code, petitioner Wendy Wyman and Melissa Kirkland have engaged in making false reports, a criminal penalty and a civil penalty, a state jail felony. They've committed this in the courtroom, and they deserve to be punished for it. And that's what I was trying to present today, son. So my last final statement in my motion was, Petitioner has not shown good cause to be awarded sole managing conservator and should be denied possession for the reasons I have presented today, Your Honor. However, I am requesting to be named as the custodial parent and joint managing conservator with petitioner Jennifer Bailey as the non-custodial parent in the best interest of the child. Respondent further asked the court for the relief requested in his motion for judgment notwithstanding the verdict. And that's what I was going to present today, son, and they didn't let me. I stayed up all night. Stayed up all night the last week, every night, typing up these things. Typing up my evidence. Saving photo evidence. Here they are. Photo of us playing with your Nerf gun. Shooting at the little target that I was showing you. That's me and you, buddy. That's my old house. Yeah, that's what we used to do together. Here's your guns that they're saying I'm training you to kill people with. Do you believe this story? Can you believe what just happened? My little target shooting Nerf gun thing that you and I love to do, that you love to do. You shoot guns. You love guns. This is what children play with all over the world. And they said that I'm a danger to you because we play Nerf guns. Well, son, today, on the eve of Father's Day 2023, the day before Father's Day, I fought for you, son. I was a warrior in that courtroom, and I stood up and in this suit right here against a powerful law firm and against a powerful court system and against a harsh judge that doesn't like me. And I stood up there and I fought for you all day till 4 o'clock today in that courtroom. And I lost, son. I lost all rights to you. Visitation rights. I'm not allowed to call you, send you an email, give you a birthday present, Christmas present, ever. They removed me because of your mom saying, and her witnesses saying that I hurt you and that I'm teaching you to kill people and that I touched you inappropriately, sexually, that I did these things to you. Do you have any recollection of any of these things, my son? Do you remember anything bad about me from your own memories? I highly doubt you do have a memory of anything bad, because our times have all been documented. And my son, I know this video is long. I'm going to end it soon. I just want to document for my sake also what I did and the work that I did for you. And I'm going to continue to do this work because I care about you. And it's my testimony today that your life matters to me, and you having a good father in your life matters to me. Your real biological father. And I don't care how good you might think Billy is, William Robert Thomas. I don't care how nice he is, how much Jennifer loves him. He might even be a really good guy. Doesn't matter if he's sleeping in bed with you, a child, and acting like he's your father and telling you to call him father and training you, manipulating you as a boy, 3-year-old boy, sleeping with a 3-year-old boy, pretending to be your daddy, cuddling with you, snuggling with you in bed, and raising you and acting like he's your father because he's jealous of me, because he's angry with me that I fought for you, that I didn't let go and I didn't give in, and that I kept going and Jennifer had to pay. Your mother paid $260,000 to do this to me. And I paid just about as much, $250,000 to not let her do this to me, to stand up against what she's doing to me and fight for you. And I lost. Do the math, son. That's $500,000. $500,000 was spent over you, to fight over you so that Jennifer can get nothing from me financially. She wanted my money. She wanted child support. She wanted alimony. She wanted all these things. And the judge didn't award her child support, but the bare minimum. She gave her full custody of you, and that's what she got. Well, she got what she wanted, but she didn't get my money. And your mama, who has very interesting choices in life, the one who poisoned you and didn't watch you, the one who slapped you and hit you, the one who let you get bit by a dog and didn't take you to the hospital, she made her father, your grandfather John Bailey, pay this money because they hate me and they want to keep you from me. Your grandparents want to keep you from me. Jan Bailey, John Bailey, your grandmother Emma Zen, they all were in on it and they all helped her because Jennifer is an entitled brat who gets what she wants, and she's willing to rob her own father of his retirement fund. 75-year-old man who doesn't work anymore. He's on his way out the door. She cleared out his retirement fund so that she can take you away from me. Over imaginary danger and violence that I never committed. That's what happened. That's what just happened. And I paid equally as much as her as she did to be in your life. And the difference between her and me is that she robbed her family to take you away from me. $260,000 worth. And I, on my own, paid my own fees with a little loan here and there that I'm paying back friends and my mother who loaned me money to help you. My mother helped me this whole time. Your grandmother. I paid for you. I paid for my legal fees and my attorneys, which I lost a year ago. Then I didn't have any money and I still kept going and I put this suit on and learned how to be an attorney because that's what I had. And I did it. $250,000, and I paid that so that I can be in your life. You see the difference? She paid $250,000 to take you out of my life, and I paid that much money, just about as much, and then did this so I can be in your life. That's the difference between your mother and your father. The basic difference. That's the love that I have for you, son. This right here is the love and devotion that I have for you. And this isn't even everything. I have more in the garage. Every one of these binders is evidence that I put together. Everything I wrote, I typed and drafted everything in these files. That video is 1 hour and 8 minutes, and I just realized how long it's been. So I'm going to get close to closing this. I'm going to close and state, son, it is my testimony under oath today that I love you and that everything I did in the relationship with your mother was to protect you because I want to be in your life, and she has been removing me from your life the entire time. She's been stiff-arming me and giving me bare little scraps of you. You know, like holding a dog bone in front of me. You want this? You want this? And when I'd bite, and when I'd try to get a little bite, nope, you can't have it. She'd take it away from me. She wouldn't let me see you extra time on Father's Day. She wouldn't let me have any extra time ever. She's greedy. So I'm going to continue this pursuit. I'm not going to let this destroy me, but it has, in a way, destroyed me. It's destroyed my soul and my spirit. Because I love you, son. I miss you, and I want to be in your life. And you deserve to have me in your life. And I pray to God the Father, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. I ask our Father in heaven to reunite us, son, one day. And I pray that you feel me and you listen to your heart, son. And I say prayers for you every day. I think about you every day, and I talk to you every day. I want you to know that you could hear me if you just listen. If you just tune in, I'm right there. I'm right here for you, son. I'm never going to abandon you. I will never abandon you, and I will fight for you. I'm here for you whenever you're ready to see me. But when you're 12 years old, you'll be old enough to make your own decision, and you can choose to be with me if you want. And we can go back to court and we can tell the judge what you prefer. And by then, I should have plenty of money saved up to where I can hire an attorney who can competently represent me and get you back in my life. But I'm going to keep going and keep doing this, son. And for now, I'm going to have to deal with this loss. But it's just a lesson, one of the lessons that we learn in life. You don't win everything. You win some, you lose some, son. But life isn't measured by how hard you've been hit or how many times you've been hit. It's measured by how many times you've gotten up. So I'm not going to give up on you. I'm not going to be violent. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to violate the orders like your mother's going to try to claim. I'm just going to keep working hard, and I'm going to live my best life ever. And one day you're going to see the truth, and I know it. And you're going to start asking, where's my father? And I'm sure you're already asking right now, why can't I see my father? I miss my father. I'm sure of it. Because you would always, 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 when we were together, you would tell the supervised visitor, I don't want to go home. I want to stay with my daddy. Because we were having so much fun, son. I got all the videos, hundreds, over 200 videos, buddy, of us having the time of our lives. Son, I love you. I've documented every moment, and I can't wait to be with you again, to share those moments with you again, to relive those moments and memories with you, to help you reinstate your memory. But I know that you don't have any memories of me hurting you ever, because that's just not true. And I pray that your mother and Billy wise up, and they don't manipulate you, and they don't control you, because I think that's abuse. So that's it for today. I want you in my life, and I want to be in your life, and I want to take you on amazing adventures, and I want to be your daddy and your father, and I will never abandon you. I'm here for you, son. You reach out to me, you find me. You find me. And by the way, if you ever see this video anywhere, my email is prosejedi@proton.me. That's PROSEJEDI at proton, like proton, electron, neutron, PROTON.ME. When you get old enough, you'll learn what an email is. You're 5 years old right now. But if you ever come across this video and you ever want to reach out to me, I'm here for you. And I'm not allowed to reach out to you, but I don't think there's any rule saying you can't reach out to me. So you could even call me, and I would even just say, Mom, I want to talk to my dad. Tell her whenever you get ready, whenever you're ready, son. Ask her, tell her what you want. And in fact, always tell people what you want. Always hold up your boundaries, and always speak the truth, and always go for what you want, and stand up for what's righteous and what's true, son. Be true to yourself, and don't let anybody tell you who you are or tell you what to do. You are free, and I set you free. I set you free today, and I let you be who you are. And I'm not going to hold a grudge against you or Mom or anything like that, because I know the truth will set us all free, and I know that you're going to come to it one day. I love you, son. I miss you, buddy. I really do. I miss you so much. I can't wait to be together again.